welcome. My name is Rachel. I have 4 boys. I've graduated 2. I have 2 that I'm homeschooling, and that is sort of what our video is about today. A day in the life, and it's probably a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So I'm going to turn the camera around and just show you some things that we've done. I probably did not film everything. I'm trying to figure all this videoing out and remember to be doing it. But this morning we all got up. I didn't video early morning. I was up pretty early. And then, like my youngest, he actually spent some time listening to some audios this morning, building with his Legos, and my 10th grader was doing some reading. So I didn't film all that this morning, but we did take a walk. Got interrupted by some rain, so we cut it short. It has been raining several days, probably a good 5 days. Going to be raining for another 4 or 5 days. But we were trying to grab a little bit of time that it looked like it was not going to be raining and just get outside. So we were out there for a little bit, and then my 10-year-old, he goes out there anytime, rain, shine, and give you a little footage of that too. So turn this camera around and get you started on what we've been doing throughout this day.
Smile. What are you videoing?
We actually just last night bought a couple things to hang up in the coop, like a little mirror, bringing them out some scraps during this wet season, just trying to give them something to do. Okay, well, my 10-year-old was outside this morning. My 10th grader got started on his piano practice. He does enjoy the piano. We actually were able to get a free piano, but we need to get it tuned. He does sometimes play on it if he has a song down. Okay, my 10-year-old came in, and while my high schooler was playing the piano, I just got him started on his geography, since that was something that he enjoys and he can get done. This is by Memoria Press. After they are both done, we went ahead and decided to read together. We are actually reading a book called Christmas Treasures, and we were talking about the different gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. I actually had some frankincense oil, so I got up to go get that and let them smell that. My 10-year-old didn't want to have anything to do with it, but we have enjoyed that book very much. Next, we are going to get started on a couple other things. My 10-year-old really needs to do his math. He is working on fractions, and my high schooler is starting a new literature book, so we were going to sort of look through that a little bit together. Okay, my high schooler is actually doing A Man Without a Country, and my 10-year-old actually is familiar with that story because he has it on a recording, and he does like his audio stories. But I wanted to read the intro with my 10th grader and get him started so he could go actually read. I think he had several pages to read from that book, but I was also trying to show my 5th grader his math fractions of adding, and believe it or not, my 10th grader stepped in and said, "Why don't you do it like this?" And that was helpful. So getting the things done and realizing there's always an easier way. Okay, my 10th grader reading his book. He then heads downstairs to get some of his own schoolwork done, which is math and history. I am starting with my 5th grader here. We're going to do our history. We're talking about Babylon. He is actually using the Draw Right Now book, and he is supposed to be drawing the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. So that is what he is working on. Then we move over into science. We are reading about birds, and the experiment this week is to stick an egg into vinegar and let it sit there for 3 days. And then I think you stick it in corn syrup. So we will see how this goes. This is our first step today, so we'll set that aside after we are done with that.
For 3 days.
Yeah, see all the bubbles? What kind of bubbles do you think those are? Air bubbles? So, all right, so this is our science exploration. And this is the book we're reading with that. But I wanted to share, we actually have a couple other books that we are looking at or will be looking at. And this has a whole bunch of stuff in it, but it has a whole section of birds. This is another bird book that we have on our shelf. And my two older ones, my oldest got into birds when he was in Cub Scouts, and my second one learned a lot too, but did a lot of wildlife photography. So he knew a lot about birds and books, and this one is a really good book. But I did want to mention this video. This is probably more for younger children, but it is Your Backyard Birds. But it, my older boys when they were really young watched this. I had this available for them. So I think they may have a second one out. I'm not sure, but they showed you how to do bird houses just in your backyard and everything. It's really very good. So I wanted to share that stuff with you. Okay, here is our lab pages from our science notebook. And just writing some date and information. We're supposed to leave that in the vinegar for 3 days. Okay, I actually got a little footage of them watching a lab video about eggs and also about microscopes for science. And then I got a little footage of my high schooler working on his history downstairs. He has to do some note cards for that for his notebook. Okay, I just want to mention what I'm going to do for dinner tonight. I have some chicken. It's already cooked. Pulled it out of the freezer. Some broccoli, some chicken broth. This was actually not from this particular chicken, but all from fresh chicken. I canned some broth. And I think what else goes in this recipe is some, like, after it's warm, I add some cream cheese and cheese. And I also have some rice that I can put it over for the boys. So I'm going to get that in the Instant Pot and get that going. All right, getting ready to put this in the oven for 350, pretty much just to warm it up because it's all already cooked. That's the nice thing about just having some stuff prepped, maybe in the freezer, like I had bought a block of cheese and shredded it, had cooked extra amount of rice, put the extra in the freezer, put extra chicken in the freezer. So, and then I'm going to add a few things to this and just warm that up in the Instant Pot. And my husband and I will eat that, and the boys will eat this. So, okay, I appreciate you all watching this video. I am going to go ahead and stop here. We are going to make some Christmas cookies this evening, but I might try to add that to another video because I wanted to do some gluten-free desserts for Christmas. And just trying to wind some things down. People are starting to come home from work. I really actually was planning on some other things today. I needed to run out and do some errands, but it has just been raining so much, and my son said, Mom, it's going to be a little bit less rainy tomorrow, so I thought that'd be easier on me to run errands tomorrow. So if you like this type of content, please hit that likes button and subscribe. That would encourage me so much, and I do hope you all have a wonderful week. Thank you so much.